carbs make you fat, right? Especially sugar. But I don't think I've ever even heard of anyone getting obese eating too much fruit. So what's the deal with fructose? Let's talk about it. Well, first of all, let's kind of get through the boring science stuff. Fructose is chemically almost identical to glucose. It has the same chemical structure, C6H12O6, but it's an isomer of glucose, meaning basically it has a slightly different structure, but it's essentially the same kind of thing, right? It's a simple sugar. What that means practically to you is it's plug and play, readily available energy substrate. Now, what makes fructose different than glucose practically? You know, like all the chemistry stuff is cool, but like what does that mean day to day? So everyone knows enzymes, right? Enzymes are the proteins that we use to digest things. So if you see like something A's, you know it's an enzyme. It's designed to break a thing apart. So the main difference between glucose and fructose is the enzymes needed to break down glucose. We have like if practically unlimited amounts, right? We're never going to run out of that. Kind of important, right? I mean, it's pretty much fundamental to our metabolisms. But that little change in the chemical structure that makes fructose different than glucose means we need a separate enzyme to break that down and turn it into energy. Now, that enzyme, fructokinase, we only have so much of it at one time. And that amount is determined largely by your ethnicity, like where your descendants came from, and the availability of high fructose type plants in that area. I've heard people say something like, if you looked at the population as an average, you know, most people can probably handle, call it, you know, 40 or 50 grams of fructose in a meal, with the remainder, like any other carb, going through the glycerol phosphate pathway in the liver and turning into triglycerides, fat. So 40 or 50 grams of fructose seems like nothing, right? You're like, oh crap, that's like a couple fruits. Well, not so fast. Most fruits are actually only about half fructose, and then the other half is straight glucose. Fruits are literally nature's, like if life's a video game, they're like nature's energy packs. Like you can just grab them and just like, whoop, there's some energy. But yeah, like I was saying, only about half of the content, the sugar content in fruits is fructose. So that 40 or 50 grams you can eat goes a long way. Like I'm looking at a chart as I'm reading this, and like for instance, one medium banana has about 7 grams of fructose. Medium apple has about 9, for example. So to max out your digestible fructose, going with that, 40, 50 grams worth of fructokinase on average, you'd have to eat like half a dozen or more fruits. When's the last time you ate like 6 apples back to back? You know what I mean? Now, I say that because that's why fruit is not only not bad for you, but actually very good. Because, number one, the amount of fructose in it is severely limited compared to the amount that you get in, say, like a juice, where you can get, 40 or 50 grams of fructose in like a couple cans. But furthermore, the fruit also comes with all the other good stuff in the fruit. The polyphenols and the catechins and the vitamins and the, all the micronutrients that are in the fruit, in the like structure of the fruit, like the meat, the seeds, the skin. You don't get that when you just drink juice, and certainly not, sodas and things like that. So that's why fructose can get problematic if you're drinking it and not getting it from the source. You have a tall glass of orange juice and then you eat a couple apples and, you're pretty much spilled over at that point. Okay, so when would we use fructose then to our best benefit as a tool? The majority of fructokinase is actually in the liver, and the liver preferentially likes fructose for replenishing liver glycogen, which, unless you're like a very muscular person, that's probably where you store, a meaningful amount, if not the majority of your glycogen, because those are your two big sinks for glycogen, your muscle tissue and your liver. So if you like fruit, number one, don't avoid it, because if you're eating actual fruit, you can eat plenty and not have to worry about fructose, turning into adipose tissue. But also, I would suggest, as a coach, this is just my opinion, although there are other coaches that share the same one, because of the liver's enjoyment of fructose, that might be a good choice for your post-training meal when your glycogen stores are low. Or intra-workout, if you're very heavily muscled, or you're on a long ruck march, you're an endurance athlete, or something like that. But even if you aren't, remember, fruit in its natural form comes with fiber, comes with all the micronutrients, so it's basically, number one, an energy pack, but also a vitamin pack. So, in conclusion, fructose, thumbs up or thumbs down? Thumbs up if you eat it in fruit form, so you get all the other goodies inside too, and so you can meter it easier. Thumbs down if you drink it, because it's too easy for it to become like any other overconsumed carbohydrate, and you know where those all end up. Fruits won't make you fat. Eat fruits. Stay in the fight.